I loved it. It was
It's
fun.
1978.
Actually,
Jose
really
is
fun.
16 years old. He lives with his family on a ranch near Irlamar, Tulare County. It's a beautiful place, surrounded by Californian vineyards. One
getting
day,
cozy.
his sister Cecilia has a request.
She went and told me.
Wait, pause. Karen, please keep the confessions and stuff, because I'll go. I will get them from you sometime, and we can go over them on stream.
Hey, bro, can you take me to India to meet this guy? I said, sure, sister, why not? And I took my sister to this little house to find her stupid friend. Well, I didn't feel comfortable going inside with her. Okay, months passed by, and she never came home. First, they found her car, and then they found her body.
Bye, Gray. Good night.
Jose was the last person to see Cecilia alive, but when he made a witness statement,
I didn't want to give the full explanation because I want to get them. I didn't want the cops to
It's his
find
chair.
them. I want to find them myself. We went to this little house. We broke in there, and we found one. I shot him.
he then went on to shoot 2 more people who were also in the house. A cold
I love you. Wish I was too. Love you.
blooded triple homicide at the age of 16. In the following decades, Jose will kill more than 30 people. What begins with a young act of revenge ends in one of the most
Fellow, thank
ruthless
you.
hitmen for the Mexican drug cartels. His victims are scattered across the entire U.S., and of course, in his own county of Tulare. He has taken the lives of both young and old,
The chicken is
drug
so
dealers
good.
and farm workers, fathers and husbands. It will take over 30 years and police from 3 different states to bring him down. This is the story of Jose Manuel Martinez, El Mano Negra, the Black Hand,
What do you
one
call me?
of America's deadliest hitmen.
30 years. Wait, I can't believe hitmen are real.
We love animation and deep research, but it's expensive. That's why we have sponsors on this channel. We are grateful that the truly amazing platform Brilliant is
Why did you
supporting
steal
us.
my joke?
With Brilliant, you can
Oh.
learn new skills across a wide variety.
Ad.
Patient and Day, on the go, at home, even while watching.
Okay.
I talked to a lot of police.
The making of a killer.
You know, before I ever met him, I talked to a lot of police officers, you know, homicide detectives, murder detectives who had dealt with him. And they all said
No
the same
refill yet.
thing, which is when you meet him, he is the most charming person you will ever meet.
This is Jessica Garrison,
Watching
a journalist
her.
and author. In 2017, she met Jose in prison for a BuzzFeed News investigation and her
BuzzFeed.
book, The Devil's Harvest.
I hate rapists.
The perspective of his family was that he was the person in the family who always took care of them. If you were in the hospital, he was the person that would come visit
Aw.
you. If the hospital wouldn't let you in, he was the person that would find a way to like hoist children up to the window so they could wave at you. I think he
Aw.
was not a person who anyone who just first met him ever suspected of being a multiple murderer.
How does a polite, loving family man turn into a
Right, I
mass
forgot.
murderer?
Sorry, I forgot.
Martinez is born in 1962 in Fresno, California. He's a U.S. citizen, but he
Fuck,
grows
Nova's
up in
here.
Mexico until the age of 11. He then moves with his family to a ranch near Irlamar. At the time, Tulare is the poorest county in California. His stepfather organizes laborers for the wine industry, and as a side business, deals drugs. At the age of 14, Martinez is sent on his first drug courier trip by bus.
Hi, Louie.
Later, he uses his own car. As a bilingual, US-born teenager, Martinez can easily stay under the radar of authorities. In 1977, the police raid his family's ranch. They confiscate $2.5 million worth of heroin and various weapons.
Holy
Then in
shit.
1978, while his stepfather was in custody, Cecilia is murdered. Martinez said that he
Yeah,
was a
real
nice
under the
man
radar.
until they killed his sister. Since then, he said fuck the rapers and the child molesters. So he did in 1979.
Based.
His first victim is David Bedoya. A
Wait.
friend tells Martinez
Stop. Does he only kill bad people?
that Bedoya
I
raped
might like him.
his sister. Martinez does the job for $500. His first
Wait.
murder for money. In 1982, he meets a man from a Mexican drug cartel. most likely Sinaloa. He only refers to him as Mr. X.
Mr. X was involved in the moving of large amounts of narcotics, drugs from, Mexico through California.
He's a
and to
hitman, so
points
no.
beyond.
Oh.
And Mr. X, gave Mr. Martinez numerous jobs killing people.
Oh.
Not every job for Mr. X is directly related to murder.
Oh, okay.
Most of the time, Martinez is tasked with collecting debts from small-time drug dealers. He receives his assignment through phone calls or brief personal meetings.
A lot of it is sold on spec.
Wait, who is
give you
she
the
again?
drugs,
I forgot.
You sell the drugs, you give some of the money back to me, right? But if you take the drugs and you don't give the money back to me, we have a problem.
Oh, right,
Then
okay,
Jose
she went to go
Martinez
talk
would
to
go
him.
and collect that money.
Martinez does end up in jail several times. For example, in 1990 because of his drug courier activities. But he is never charged with his murders. That's weird, because his name does appear in several homicide cases going back all the way to 1979.
Let's spoil all the info from the video before it's shown.
Fine if you turn up in one murder
I'm sorry,
case,
I just
maybe
get
that's bad luck.
curious.
Two, maybe a coincidence.
I'm sorry, this happens all the time. So like, if I'm watching a show with someone, I'll be like, wait, does this person die? And they'll be like, I'm not going to tell you that. And I'll be like, no, please tell me. Please just tell me. And they're like, okay, fine. They die. And I'm like, no! And like, why the fuck did you? I do this a lot.
7 or 8.
So I'm sorry. I know it's annoying.
Huh, what's happening here?
In hindsight, it's difficult to
Yeah, I'm the
understand
annoying one.
why no one
At least I
connected the dots back
recognize
then.
that I'm
It
annoying.
will take many years and several victims
I like
before someone
spoilers.
picks up Martinez's trail.
Tweezels, I'm glad you can relate.
November
No,
2006,
self-reflection.
Martinez flies to Florida to deal with a 20-year-old named Javier
We
Huerta.
are annoying.
Javier is accused of stealing 10 kilograms of cocaine worth around $170,000.
Same, Dan.
Martinez keeps a close eye on Huerta for a few days.
I like trying to guess,
and
which
then
is also
he decides to
annoying.
strike.
I called Javier Huerta.
No, I don't like
They told me that
surprises.
you're a Missouri worker, and I want you to come so you can give me an estimate price on my house. They got in. I locked the door. When I turned out, I had my guns out. My hit the floor, and this single one I tell you. You stole 10 kilos from cocaine from me. If you don't get my money in 30 minutes, I'm gonna call my friend that is outside your house, and he's gonna shoot your family.
Martinez gets the money.
Maybe he's not a good
$150,000
guy.
are buried in Huerta's garden. He shoots
Wait.
Huerta and his colleague 4 times each. He binds their hands with zip ties and puts their bodies in Huerta's truck. He takes the car and drives it to the outskirts of a national park, smoking a cigarette on the way, perhaps to calm down.
People
After the
that kill
job,
others aren't
Martinez
good
flies
people.
directly
Wow.
to his daughter's home in Alabama. His granddaughter is celebrating her birthday. He wants to use the money he just earned to make her happy.
I got her. I took her to Toys R Us, where a kid can be a kid. I told her, babe, because I love you with all my heart, me and you, we're gonna walk in the store, and for 1 hour, you can pick whatever you want, okay?
While Martinez is treating his granddaughter at Toys R Us,
Aww.
investigators in Florida discover Huerta's truck with the 2 dead bodies. They find a Mountain Dew can in the center console of the vehicle, with a cigarette butt laying in a puddle of the yellow-green liquid. They send the cigarette butt to a lab to check for DNA traces, but the test is not conducted right away. The evaluation probably isn't a big priority. Huerta was a construction worker and had many co-workers in the car with him, so investigators had little hope of a hit. In fact, the results won't reach them until years later. Martinez escapes
Years?
conviction for the murder of Huerta, at least for the time being. In 2009, Martinez kills a man named Joaquin Barragan in Earl Mart for $8,000. He used a woman as a lure. She brought drugs from Barragan, contacting Martinez when the meeting was set.
Oh my god.
3 days later, Barragan's body is found under a blanket,
That's so
his hands
scary.
bound with zip ties. The police question many people in Earl Mart about the murder. They learned that Barragan knew he was being pursued by a contract killer known as El Mano Negra, the Black Hand. A woman tells investigators that Martinez tried to hire her to lure Barragan to a remote location. Others say that El Mano Negra is in fact Martinez's nickname. The
Damn.
investigators don't have enough evidence against him, but they still decide to make
If
a
he
move.
wanted to, he
They
would.
arrest Martinez for violating
Pause. This cracked me up. Commits a double murder, then takes his granddaughter on a shopping spree. Wild. If he wanted to, he would.
probation.
I just spat all over my
But when
face.
they knock on his door, he scrambles out his phone,
I know, it is
removes
really
his SIM
French.
card, and
Back my
swallows it.
gun.
Nothing else on there can incriminate him. When the police question Martinez, he claims that everyone in Erlemart is lying, and that he didn't kill Barragan. They send him to prison anyway for violating his probation terms. When Martinez
Why
gets
the
out of prison,
French-ass
about
R
a half a year
sound?
later, he directly marches to the Violent Crime Division of the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. He wants his white Chevy Suburban back that the police had seized from him. Martinez agrees to answer a few questions from the police in return. He hints that he is a collector for a Mexican drug cartel from Guadalajara, and he also claims to know that Barragan was murdered, not due to debts, but because he was a rat. The investigators are suspicious. They suggest a lie detector test. These aren't technically valid ways of determining a lie, but police will still often use them for investigations. Martinez agrees.
Dropped shrimp on myself.
He is asked several times if he knows who killed Barragan. Martinez, of course, denies that he killed him. The lie detector's response to Martinez's answers are clear. Deception is indicated. Still, the investigators' hands are tied. Without clear evidence of a confession, they can't pin Martinez down. In the end, the black hand once again slips from their grasp. The cigarette butt is still in the
Watching The Hunt for America's Deadliest Hitman.
lab. The police in Florida have other cases to handle, and they forgot about those bodies in that trunk. It looks like Martinez can just keep going on forever, but then something happens in Alabama.
Tycoon. Again. Wait, how do you randomly hit?
Early 2013,
Pause.
35 years after the murder of
kinda like
Martinez's
it.
sister, 33 years after he shot David
Bryce,
Badella
thank you for the 2
$500
mods.
Martinez is now 51 years old. He is once again visiting his daughter in Alabama. He spends a lot of time with his grandchildren, picks them up from
Maybe
school,
I'll just continue on the
dresses them
high.
up as Disney princesses,
Hi, don't rage,
and has
please.
spa days with them. His daughter knows he's a criminal, but she thinks he's just a smuggler who helps to bring people
But I think it would
across
be
the
better
border
if you
into
guys
the
also
US.
said hi.
While at her home, Martinez has an idea. He learns that a friend of his daughter's partner needs help collecting a debt. He'll help him, but in reality, he just wants to learn from the friend a little bit about
Well, like
his
not to
daughter's partner,
me, to the
Jaime
street
Romero.
person.
Is he a good guy?
So I see it because I keep missing
He
it.
meets with a friend named Jose Ruiz.
I'm
In
offloading the
car,
work.
Martinez asks Ruiz about his daughter's partner. Ruiz says Romero is okay, but he proceeds to call his girlfriend names and a terrible mother.
Oh.
He doesn't realize it's Martinez's daughter. And so Martinez decides to forgive him, realizing that we're all human on this rotating rock in the void.
Damn, even a
And
hitman
naturally, we can all
have
make mistakes.
forgiveness.
He patiently tells Ruiz, "Hey, I'm her father, and that's not a kind way to speak about my daughter."
Wow.
No. Martinez decides that
Oh,
Jose
never
Ruiz
mind.
must die. But not right now.
Never mind.
People saw them together, so he returns to California for the time being, and Ruiz is allowed a few more weeks on Earth.
Death Note.
On March 4th, 2013, Martinez is back. He goes on a little tour with Romero and Ruiz. They stop to stretch their legs in a remote national park. Martinez pulls out a gun, points it at Ruiz, and says, "The woman you insulted is my daughter, you bastard." Then he shoots him twice in the head.
Oh. They always get caught
He
in
gets
Alabama.
back in the car and tells the shocked Romero to drive and better keep this to himself.
Damn.
The police quickly discover the dead Ruiz and find a Walmart receipt with him. They review surveillance cameras and identify a companion of Ruiz. It's Romero. He is arrested and suspected of murder. Shortly afterwards,
Oh, he's gonna fucking
Martinez
say
contacts
something.
the police, providing Romero with an alibi and claiming that they were together at the time of the killing. But the police do not believe him, and Romero remains in custody.
What? Romero's gonna crack.
1 month later, Martinez is visiting his son in Erlemart. Suddenly, the police start banging on the door. Martinez is convinced that they are there because of him. Romero must have talked. He flees the house, and a sheriff deputy named Crystal Darrington gives chase. In reality, Martinez had nothing to fear. The police officer doesn't know a thing about
Just
the murder
kidding, I
in
lied.
Alabama. She had come to visit Martinez's son because she is investigating a series of robberies and hopes for his assistance.
That's so
She
unlucky.
apprehends Martinez and brings him to the station. A colleague whispers to Darrington that the man she brought in is El Mano Negra, supposedly a contract killer responsible for several murders in the area.
Uh-oh.
They could arrest Jose Martinez and hold him for being a felon in possession of a gun. And instead, he convinced them to let him go. And he offered to get them, get bad guns off the street. We have a lot of guns everywhere. Many of them are legal and many of them are illegal. And so the police were interested in kind of
Pito, thinker than you tier one, welcome.
And Jose Martinez assisted them with this.
Poggers, dude.
They thought it was because he didn't want to get locked up. That may be true, but I think it's also because he kind of wanted to keep tabs on. He knew he'd committed this murder in Alabama. He knew he had all these other murders.
We only want the best guns around.
Did they suspect him?
As Martinez collaborates with the police in California, an unsolved case in Florida is reopened. It's from 2006. The murder is of Javier Huerta. Investigators finally received the lab report regarding the cigarette butt in the Mountain Dew they found all those years ago.
Years later is crazy.
They get a hit. The DNA belongs to a man who had previously been in prison, Jose Manuel Martinez. A detective named TJ Watts takes on the murder case. At this point, Martinez is still not their primary suspect. But Watts is puzzled by why a Californian cigarette butt would turn up so far away in Florida. He contacts an investigator in California who tells him Martinez's story, that they know him, that he's been helping them collect illegal weapons, and that he's involved in several murder investigations, but that they can't prove anything against him. But then the investigator in California tells Watts a small but crucial detail.
I'm so nervous.
Many of the murders involve the use of zip ties. Watts is intrigued. He also has a few unsolved murders on his desk where zip ties
that's
were
his.
used.
You
He
think
has a strong suspicion that Martinez...
Isn't that like a serial killer thing though? Like obviously he's killed enough people to be considered a serial killer, but he does it under the guise of being a hitman, right? Like he's just doing it for money. But isn't it a serial killer thing? Isn't it a serial killer thing to have like a signature? Yeah, like a calling card. MO. That is a serial killer thing, not just like an any. Oh, I think this dude is zip tying out of practicality. Oh, okay.
Martinez might be the person he's looking for. He doesn't seem as a useful informant like
I feel
the
like he
colleagues
is
in
probably
California
not
do.
the only killer to ever
Watts
use
believes
zip
Martinez
tie.
might just be a killer.
Okay,
he
you're
marks
right.
him as person of interest.
Isn't
Meanwhile,
killing people
Jaime
a
Romero
serial killer
is still locked
thing?
up in an Alabama prison, facing accusations for the murder of his friend, Jose Ruiz.
Finger traps.
He's terrified of his father-in-law. He witnessed his cold-bloodedness firsthand. But he can't go to prison. He has a daughter and a life at home. So he calls for the man in charge, Detective McWhorter, and talks. On May 17th, the investigators finally issue an arrest warrant for Martinez on murder charges.
Boom, boom, boom.
When he returns back to the U.S. from a trip to Mexico, Martinez is arrested in Arizona. He learns that there's a warrant out for him for murder. His only question is where the warrant came from.
Uh-oh. A long list of bodies. What's wrong? I'm gonna put him on my lap.
McWhorter is the first to hear about Martinez's
Prism!
arrest at the border. He immediately sets off for Arizona to personally bring him back. On the way back to Alabama, they talk about life, the military, and even share a pizza at the airport. McWhorter is surprised at how little Martinez seems to care about being charged with murder. Upon arriving in Alabama, they are met by Detective Watts. He too had jumped on a plane to interrogate Martinez. Neither detective expects Martinez to confess. Perhaps he would spend time in jail and then make a mistake during a phone call from inside. At best, Martinez might admit to being at the crime scene, but try to blame everything on Romero. But things take a different turn.
Probably just confessed to everything.
Martinez confesses almost immediately to killing Ruiz. He also confesses to the murder case in Florida.
Damn.
He provides detailed descriptions of the crime scenes, the number of bullets used, and says, if I hadn't done the job, someone else would have.
Ouch.
But it doesn't end there. Martinez then asks for Crystal Darrington, the deputy sheriff from Tulare. When she arrives in Alabama, he drops a bombshell. He's a contract killer and has killed numerous people. He goes on to confess to one murder after another.
Shot him on the head with a .22.
Took my gun and I shot him inside the car in the leg.
I even killed his brother.
Yeah, my dog's missing an eye.
It was a long list. I mean, Crystal Darrington said that she was just like frantically texting her.
Picked her up with
bosses,
handcuffs
like,
and
"Oh my
duct tape
God,
in my
another
car.
one," and then
That's
like I think
so
the next day he's
funny
like, "Oh
of
my gosh, I have another
you.
one." So it was a shocking list of murderers.
He confesses to over 35
Number.
murders. Today, it is thought to be over 40.
They went back and reinvestigated all of them. Like, they didn't just take his word for it and tried to make sure it was true. And ultimately, they decided that they believed it.
Martinez is brought to trial for most, but not all of his murders.
I know that.
Some cases couldn't be resolved. At the time, he even faces the death penalty, which doesn't seem to worry him.
I know I'm gonna get electrocuted. I can go if I die tomorrow.
In the end, Martinez is sentenced to 50 years in prison in Alabama for the murder of Ruiz, life in prison without the possibility of parole in California for 9 murders, and 2 consecutive life sentences in Florida.
Damn. Fafa, my love.
Martinez certainly didn't make it easy for the police.
My baby, my
He
love.
left few
Fafa.
traces,
My
often there were no
baby.
concrete
Sorry.
pieces of
I'm having a moment.
and as a hitman, there were usually no direct connections between
Hurts my
him and his
feelings.
victims. Especially in the 80s and
Yeah,
90s,
such cat
police in California
behavior.
had a lot of murders to deal with.
Rage baiting.
They had limited resources. But there is
no,
also
that's what you
another
put it.
reason why Martinez wasn't caught for so long.
He's
There
manipulating
are other people who
you.
would say, well, you didn't try that hard to get it.
He knows
in
me. He
part
loves
because
me.
the people that he was killing were not people that created these giant outcry. He was generally killing people without very much power.
Boy, show you
And
one.
so I think that was sort of one
First
of the
time Cheddar said he
heartbreaking
doesn't know how to
things
speak
me
English.
when I started working on this, is that I went and found some of the family members of some of his victims, and
Maybe they just have
many of them
personalities.
said over and over, like, it seems
Chunky,
like no one
chunky.
cared that our relative was killed.
Wait, a life sentence is 25 years? Wait, hold on. Wait, huh? They have trials? Wait. Oh, minimum. Wait, I'm confused. I thought it was just like 25 to life. So what does this mean?
2
This.
consecutive
50 years in prison in Alabama, and then after 50 years, he goes to California? So this is like, when it says 2 life sentences, that's more of like a gesture. Like, he's not actually doing 2 life sentences because he's gonna die. So it's just like a gesture, like he got 2 life sentences. And then he'll probably be dead in 50 years, so he'll just die. So basically, what this means is he's not getting out. It's also because he could be pardoned for one but not the other. Oh, okay.
life sentences.
Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I don't really understand
That
that
was
stuff.
sort of one of the heartbreaking things to me when I started working on this.
They
is
get to
that I
fight
went
over
and
where he
found some of
serves
the
too?
family members of some of his
Damn.
victims, and many of them said over and over, like, it seems like no one cared that our relative was killed.
That's kind of sad.
And so
That's very sad, actually.
I think that to me was sort of the craziest and most heartbreaking part of this case.
If he behaved in prison, he could get a reduced sentence. So if it was a lifetime, he might get out before he died. But since it's more than one lifetime, okay, understood. Cool.